Valley Club, the Old Man Logan trials have concluded. Now 6 and 7-star versions going to be running around in the wild. How big of a problem is this going to be for upcoming PvP content? We're talking about that in this video, as well as discussing a solution for Old Man Logan in Arena. We also have an updated list of characters to take into Dark Dimension right now. And oh yeah, it is Monday, which means it's Mailbag Monday, which means that we're reading all of your mailbag questions. So Valley Club, if you're ready for all that stuff and more, then you know what to do. Find that like button and let's go smash it. And welcome back to the ValleyFlyin channel. I am ValleyFlyin. Hope you're having a great day. Hope you're enjoying Marvel Strike Force. And I hope you're all ready to start seeing these big Old Man Logans. Yeah, 6, 7 stars. They're going to be running around in the wild. But before we get into how to deal with these Old Man Logans, if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button for more great Marvel Strike Force content. We have at least 5 Marvel Strike Force videos per week on the channel. Usually we have more. We have question and answer videos like this, news videos, gameplay videos, everything to help your experience in Marvel Strike Force. Let's jump right into the questions of the week from the mailbag. Thank you to each and every one of you that left a question for the mailbag. And if you want to leave a question from one of these upcoming mailbag videos that we do every week, make sure you are a member of Discord. The link is down below. But first question this week, hey ValleyFlyin, who would you put Gear 19 on first, Apocalypse or Old Man Logan? Well, I did put it on Apocalypse first, but let's say we had both of these characters at the same level. Which character would give myself more value? I think that is Apocalypse. Yes, both of them are involved in the arena meta right now. You can make the argument that Old Man Logan at these higher star levels will be a little more involved than Apocalypse because of the way his turn goes, get the ability to block on Apocalypse. So maybe in arena, in raids, they're neither of them are really involved. Maybe one of them, if you lose on like the mutant node, then you could build them up. Cosmic Crucible, they're both very, very important. Apocalypse is important. Old Man Logan is important. And for myself in that game mode, I think Apocalypse gets a little bit of a nod over Old Man Logan, but it could just be that last week we were playing with these low star levels for Old Man Logan. And of course in war, I think you do have a lot more value from that Merc for Money team as a whole. And as I'm saying to say that in my head, I'm wondering if Old Man Logan does have a lot more value than Apocalypse. I do still think Apocalypse does have more value. So for me, Gear 19 first goes on Apocalypse. I think he's going to help you in those earlier sections, whereas Old Man Logan will help you in the legendary section. Obviously, Apocalypse in that unlimited section and that mythic section as well. But I think both of these characters, you can't go wrong. So I think it comes down to whoever you have the gear first. I think you're going to Gear 19 both of these characters. You're going to take both of them to Dark Dimension 7 if you're ready for them. So just whatever you have the gear first, do them first and do the other one next. They're both very, very good. ValleyFlyin, you showed a defense with Old Man Logan without Sus on the team. What's a good offense for Sus on defense? And I believe you're talking about Arena. So as we go into the Arena, we see this is a very common defense. Old Man Logan, Black Knight, Super Skrull, Apocalypse, and then the 5th gets rotated. We have a Robbie Reyes here, we have a Dormammu here, we have a Void Knight here. What I've been using, at least at these lower star levels for our Old Man Logan, is a team with Dormammu. And I saw that on a thumbnail for Mobile Gamers video. This is the team that I've been using and pretty much beating everything that I've been running across so far in Arena. But because we don't have those 6 and 7-star Old Man Logans with some more red stars in the wild yet, not sure if this team is still going to work when we get these bigger Old Man Logans, but let's take this team into battle. And hopefully when we get these larger Old Man Logans in the game, this team does still work for you. And luckily for us, they placed their Old Man Logan not next to their Black Knight, so we're gonna use their Super Skrull. We're gonna reduce the turn meter of the Ghost Rider, Robbie Reyes, and the Black Knight a little bit. We're not hitting their Old Man Logan, which means that our Old Man Logan goes before theirs. Now we are gonna hit theirs right now, but we're gonna go against their Black Knight, stunning their Black Knight, no counterattacks anymore. Their Old Man Logan does the same to us. And now it is just winning time. We have the Dormammu. They don't, which means that our Super Skrull can revive once, our Black Knight can revive once, theirs cannot. We're just gonna chain this down all the way, starting at Black Knight so we don't hit that Old Man Logan, because every time he's hit, he does gain that speed bar. All right, now it is time for whose turn? All right, now it is our Apocalypse going. And usually what I've been doing in this fight is killing their Old Man Logan. So let's go and use the ultimate here. Nobody looks like they're vulnerable. We get an extra hit on Black Knight, but let's go and kill this Old Man Logan right now. And there he goes. Now we don't have to worry about him. And then now we could use our ultimate for Old Man Logan to get that ability block on their Apocalypse. So Big ultimate. There he is, ability to block. They're effectively out of the fight. We do still have to worry about Super Scroll. That is what we have to worry about, but we take that and now we're good. Let's use this on Apocalypse. That will stick because of the trauma that he has. And now we just got to take out Super Scroll, but he does not have an ultimate anymore, so should not be too much of a problem. We have our Super Scroll that still has a revive once. We have our old man Logan still has a revive once. Same thing with our Black Knight, and Apocalypse is in pretty good health. Dormammu was about to be dead very soon, but yeah, this battle is pretty much over at this point. Let's get the more charges on our Black Knight, and Apocalypse is just gonna pretty much finish this battle off. And oh no, Dormammu is gonna finish it off with his basic. No, old man Logan finishes it off with the assist for Dormammu. All right, but that is how to beat this team. Hopefully this team still works once we get those 6- and 7-star old man Logan. Top of the day to you, Valley. Top of the day to you, back, my brother. With all the new characters and teams that have come out lately, who shall I level up to take into Dark Dimension 5? Now, this answer is going to be the same regardless of what Dark Dimension you're thinking about. It is going to be whatever is the most current Dark Dimension, whatever the meta to get you the most current Dark Dimension. So right now, most current Dark Dimension is Dark Dimension 7. So the best tunes in Dark Dimension 7 are also going to be the best tunes for Dark Dimension 6, 5, 4, and so on. So let's go talk about what I am thinking right now for Dark Dimension 7, because these tunes will also work in Dark Dimension 5. The only exception with Dark Dimension 5, there's no Dormammu, no Super Scroll, maybe you have Apocalypse. So that would be the only difference that you would choose when going for lower Dark Dimensions. But let's go into the game right now. City, this is what I'm thinking for City right now. Ghost Rider Robbie Reyes, I think, is the most important City character that you could bring into Dark Dimension. And then you're just basing around what Ghost Rider Robbie Reyes is doing. So we're getting some bleeds here with Vulture. Vulture works very well with Reyes, and we're just leaning into the synergy with the Spider Society because they are needed for the Spotlight raids, also needed for the Incursion raids as well. Peter B, Spider Noir, and Penny or is who I'm going to choose. And if we go into the game right now, we can see what other players have used in some of these other Dark Dimensions. So some good choices for the City section of Dark Dimension is the Spider Society with Ghost Rider Robbie Reyes. Similar to what we are doing as well, but bringing in Pav instead of Vulture. Leading into this Sinister Six. This was probably done a while ago before we had the Spider Society. I think it is appropriate to bring the Spider Society because that is the more current team. Sinister Six, Superior Six, they're still a good team, but they're not one of the most current teams. So I think you go with the most current team that people are using. Next team here is the Global section. And what a lot of people are done is leading the Black Knight and the Extreme X-Men. I'm not sure if this is the way to go for the mutant gear, but looking to some teams that other people have used in this Global section, going back into the game, you got a lot of these teams and they do lean into a lot of these Extreme X-Men. This person brought in Quicksilver, but a lot of good choices here. I think I'm gonna wait till the end to to choose my characters, but it looks like if you do have the gear and gear isn't a recommendation, or the origin gear, let's say you have enough mutant gear, I think you just bring in a lot of the Extreme X-Men because that is the most recent team. Going back to the Cosmic section, and obviously with different Dark Dimensions, the order may be different for some of these characters, but I think this is the best Cosmic characters right now that you could bring in. Void Knight, Kang, we have Val, which is a killer in Dark Dimension, and then the Eternals here. And if we go into the game, this is what a lot of players use for this section as well. I think this is the best choices for the Cosmic section. We do have a Cosmic Ghost Rider there. I'm not sure if that was more of something for War or for Dark Dimension itself. Going back to the Legendary section, the characters that I'm choosing, obviously Old Man Logan, the most current character. Also current characters in Green Goblin, Black Cat, and Nova. And for the last, if gear or anything was an issue, I would lean into Doc Ock, because that is that synergy with the Superior Six. And Dark Dimension 5, I don't believe there is that Mythic section, but this is obviously who I'm taking for the Mythic section. I think most players are taking this for the Mythic section of Dark Dimension 7, but if you're going to Dark Dimension 5 and one of the earlier sections, these are still some good tunes as long as you have the gear for to build up those characters to that required gear for that Dark Dimension you're going into. Hey, ValleyFlyin with a new Spotlight Raid orb. So for max on the rewarded tunes, is there value in hoarding them for the next Spotlight Raid season version? Have they mentioned if they'll change the orb currency each new cycle? Well, all that we have right now is they say that they're going to periodically update the contents of the Spotlight Raid Orb, so stay tuned. Not sure how long that's gonna be, but I'm kind of in the same boat as you as well. All the characters in the Spotlight Raid Orb are maxed out, even Void Knight. So you can do a couple things. You could open all these right now and get some food for these Ultimus orbs, and hopefully you get someone that you don't have at maxed out popping up in the store. Or you could wait on these orbs, and hopefully they'll update them soon, and you get a good character there. However, although we did get Void Knight when a lot of players through these events already had him at 7 stars, so maybe by the outdated tune, maybe the tune that you don't have at 7 stars, but I don't know if there's a right or wrong what you do with it, you know, because you can't open them now, get the Ultimus food, or you can wait, potentially get a character that you don't already have maxed out. But in waiting, you might just be waiting and waiting and waiting, and they update it and you already have those characters maxed out. So it is up to you what you want to do with it. Hopefully, looking at some of the choices that you have for each decision will help clarify what you want to do. But yeah, I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. Do with what you want as long as you know what the consequences are for that. Well, when do you think they'll make it a little easier for us to get T2 level 4 ions? I have plenty of those too, and they seem to always give us T2 level 5 ions, but those are super easy to get, a lot easier to hoard. Yeah, I had that problem for a long time before. I had a lot of ISO 8.5s, and I needed to get some characters ISO 8.4, and I didn't have a lot. Right now, if we're gonna go into the game, that kind of is flipped. And I'm not sure if at some point after you cross a certain threshold of getting a certain amount of characters to gear the ISO 5, ISO blue level 5, that kind of goes away. But yeah, this was so low before and this was so high, and it's kind of flipped. I don't really pay attention to why it flipped or what they've done with these resources, but hopefully you get in the same boat as I do, and you have that flip happen for you at some time. But I noticed they did start changing the rewards, because it wasn't just myself, it was a bunch of players that were complaining about it at the same time, and this is where I'm at right now. So yeah, hopefully you get that flip and it's not that much of an issue for you, because it doesn't make sense that 4s would be easier, or that 4s would be harder to obtain than 5s, right? Because it's the next level of progression. All right, hey ValleyFlyin, I'm a level 100 player. Don't consider myself endgame. Really have a nice wide roster with most of the tunes at level 60, main teams at level 70, 80, or is the level 75 through 80. I was wondering, what should I focus on next? Apocalypse, I have all the horsemen unlocked at 4 stars, but struggling to go higher. Dark Dimension, haven't even beaten Dark Dimension 3 yet. Or the other legendaries like Classic Green Goblin, Black Cat, and Nova. I have all of them at 4 stars, but struggling to go higher. Any advice you have, we greatly appreciate it. Thanks for all you do. So this is an interesting question, because I think a lot of players that are, you know, starting off a little later, maybe mid-game players or returning, kind of have this confusion of what to do, where they should focus on, because there's so many characters to focus on, so many game modes. And for the longest time, I've always done this when I've gotten confused. So the top game mode for me is Arena, and that's because that is where you're gonna get a lot of power cores. And power cores are gonna help you in every single game mode. So for me, try to focus on my Arena teams first. Right now, as we talked about, this is kind of the Arena meta right now on offense, so try to build towards this. Your Arena meta may look a little different based on what is in your Arena shard. So I would say, regardless of the tunes, do whatever you can to climb as high as you can in an Arena. That is the first area you should focus on. So right now, Arena tunes, Apocalypse, Old Man Logan, Black Knight. If you do have access to the higher Dark Dimension, Super Skrull will be great. But Black Knight, Old Man Logan, great characters there in Arena. And then Apocalypse, if you do have those horsemen, could push for that a little more, get that Apocalypse unlocked. That'll help you in Arena. Next, raids. I think that is what you focus on after Arena. And you got a couple raid characters to choose from, or raid teams to choose from. Bifrost, Pegasus, Extreme, Hive Mind, then Spider Society, in that order for these incursion raids. That's the order you have to build them. If you're in a lower level raid, build them in whatever order they appear in that raid that you're doing. That's what I would focus on. And then also you got to kind of in the background build your Spider Society, kind of in the background, start building up your Alpha Flight once they're released in the game for these spotlight raids. And the last 2 game modes, War, Cosmic Crucible, I would say just do it on whatever game mode that you enjoy. Hopefully you enjoy either Crucible or War, and you can focus on building teams for that game mode. If you enjoy both, focus on the game mode that you enjoy the most. I think the rewards are kind of good for both, right? You got more gold for the War rewards, you got more diamonds for the Crucible rewards. So you need both of those things. So do whatever you enjoy. But yeah, focus Arena first, then the raids. The answer on what tunes to keep focus on and where to go, it's gonna be a little different for everyone based on your gear, based on what you and your alliance are trying to do. But if you keep that in mind, arena, then raids, and then go for fun. So hopefully you got some help from this video in beating old man Logans, and hopefully this offense still beats these larger 6, 7-star old man Logan. Hopefully you got some good planning for Dark Dimension. Hopefully you got some value from this video. And if you did, leave it a like. It is free for you. Tremendously helps out the channel. And if you want to see what are the best characters to farm right now in Marvel Strike Force, check out the video up there, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day. Hulk fist bump, ValleyFlyin out.